Good morning, dear students. Let's start today's lesson. Today, we will speak about scientific methods, peculiarities, and scientific speech techniques. Well, introduction to this topic, scientific method peculiarities, steps, main steps, procedures for conducting scientific research, then conclusion. First of all, what is scientific method? Scientific method is the system used by science to explore data, generate and test hypotheses, develop new theories, and confirm or reject earlier results. Also, the exact methods used in the different sciences vary. They share some fundamental attributes that may be called characteristics of the scientific method. And there are 5 descriptors for the scientific method. 5 main features which describes scientific method. The first one is empirical. What does it mean? It means that the scientific method is empirical. That is, it relies on direct observation of the world and disdains hypotheses that run counter to observable fact. This contrasts with methods that rely on pure reason and these methods that rely on emotional or other subjective factors. It is empirical feature. Next one is replicable. It means that scientific experiments, if another person duplicates that experiment, he or she will get the same result. The same result. Science are supposed to publish enough of their method so that another person with suitable training could replicate that result. This contrasts with methods that rely on experiences that are unique to a particular individual or small group of individuals. It's the feature of replicable. Next one is provisional results. Provisional results. Results obtained through the scientific methods are provisional. They are open to question and debate. They should open to questions and debate. If new data arise that contradict a theory, that theory must be modified. For example, the phlogiston theory of fire and combustion was rejected when evidence against it arose. It is objective, provisional result. And next one, objective approach. The scientific method is objective. It relies on facts and the world as it is, rather than on beliefs, wishes or desires. Science attempt to remove their basis when making observation with varying degrees of success. In systematic, strictly speaking, the scientific method is systematic. That is, it relies on carefully planned studies rather than on random or haphazard observation. Nevertheless, science can begin from some random observation. It's very important, systematic features. The main 5 key descriptors for scientific method. It means scientific methods should be like this. And now speaking about steps, main steps, procedures for conducting scientific research. The first one is defining problem and research. First step, we should define problem and we should find research about what we are going to write. First, a broad topic is selected concerning some topic or research question is asked. The science researches the question to determine if it has been answered or the types of conclusion other researchers have drawn and experiments that have been carried out in relation to the question. Research involves reading scholarly journal articles from other science which can be found on the internet via research databases and journals as published academic articles. For defining problem we should use like. And during research the science narrows down the broad topic into a specific research question about some issue. It is the first step. And about hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is a concise, clear statement containing the main idea or purpose of our scientific research. Our hypothesis is our predictions before writing our research work. We think we find out some research information and we can predict some results, some kind of outcomes, our prediction. At the end, we can see after doing some experiments, after proving our opinions, working on our research work, we can see if maybe our hypothesis will be true or not. Are they true or not? It's our prediction. First prediction. And crafting a hypothesis requires us to find the variables we're researching. When writing the hypothesis, science either make a specific cause and effect statement about the variables being studied or make a general statement about the relationship between such variables. Designing an experiment. Designing a scientific experiment involves planning how we are going to collect data. Designing experiment is collecting data. Often the nature of the research question influences how the scientific research will be conducted. For example, researching people's opinions naturally requires conducting surveys. When designing the experiment, the science selects from where and how the sample being studied will be obtained, the data and times for the experiment, the controls being used and other measures needed to carry out the research. Collecting data, gathering information it means. It involves carrying out the experiment the science designed. During this process, the science records the data and completes the task required to conduct the experiment. In other words, the science goes to the research site to perform the experiment, such as laboratory or some other setting. Tasks involved with conducting the experiment vary depending on the type of research. For example, some experiments require bringing human participants in for a test, conducting observation in the natural environment, and experimenting with animal subjects. Collecting data is gathering data. We should gather all kind of data information, then we analyze data. First of all, we collect, gather data, all kind of information, then we will start to analyze this information. Statistic tests can help the science understand the data better, tell whether the scientific result is found, significant result, important result. Calculating the statistic for a scientific research experiment is very important for us. And descriptive statistic describe the data and samples collected, such as sample average or means, as well as the standard deviation that tells the science how the data is distributed. Inferential statistics involves conducting tests or significance that have the power to either confirm or reject the original hypothesis. Then draw conclusions. Collecting data, analyzing data, draw conclusions, making conclusions. After the data